Chapter 2, The Inspecting Staff. Section 12, Appointment of Inspectors. Subsection 1, Appointment of Inspectors. Government holds the authority to designate individuals as inspectors by means of an official notification in the Official Gazette. These inspectors are selected based on the government's discretion, and they are assigned specific local areas for their jurisdiction under this Act. Illustration: suppose the government appoints Mr. Smith as an inspector in the District West Karachi to oversee factory safety compliance within his designated jurisdiction. Subsection 2, Appointment of Chief Inspector. In addition to regular inspectors, the government can also appoint a chief inspector via an official notification. The chief inspector, apart from having the powers of a regular inspector, has the authority to exercise these powers throughout the entire province of Sindh. Example: Mr. Johnson is appointed as the chief inspector in Sindh. He can inspect factories not only within his district but also in any other part of Sindh. Subsection 3, Conflict of Interest Prohibition. No person can be appointed as an inspector or chief inspector, and if appointed, they cannot continue to hold office if they have any direct or indirect financial interest in a factory, its processes, businesses, or any related patents or machinery. Definition: a direct or indirect interest implies any financial stake, ownership, or involvement that could influence the inspector's impartiality in executing their duties. Subsection 4, Deputy Commissioner as Inspector. Every Deputy Commissioner automatically holds the position of an inspector within their respective district. Explanation: if Mr. Adams is the Deputy Commissioner of District X, he is also an inspector for the factories located in District X. Subsection 5, Appointment of Additional Inspectors. Government can, through an official notification, appoint public officers to serve as additional inspectors. These additional inspectors have authority for specific purposes outlined in this Act and are designated within defined local limits. Example: the government appoints Mr. Patel, a health officer, as an additional inspector to focus on inspecting the health and sanitation aspects of factories in his local area. Subsection 6, Allocation of powers among multiple inspectors. In cases where multiple inspectors operate within one area, the government can declare which powers each inspector will exercise and designate which inspectors should receive prescribed notices. Scenario: in a populous industrial city, there are 3 inspectors. The government decides that Inspector A will handle fire safety, Inspector B will oversee labor conditions, and Inspector C will focus on environmental compliance. Subsection 7, Public Servant Status. Both chief inspectors and regular inspectors are considered public servants under the Pakistan Penal Code. They are also officially subordinate to authorities specified by the government. Clarification: public servant implies that these individuals are government officials entrusted with specific duties related to factory inspection. Section 13, Powers of Inspector. Subsection A, Entry and Inspection. An inspector, within the local limits of their appointment, has the authority to enter any place they have reasonable cause to believe is being used as a factory or could be designated as one under Section 5 of this Act. They may be accompanied by assistants, if needed. Scenario: Inspector Davis, having reasonable suspicion, enters a factory that may be operating as an unregistered factory to ensure compliance with safety regulations. Subsection B, Examination and Evidence Collection. Inspectors can thoroughly examine the premises, inspect machinery and equipment, review prescribed registers, and collect on-site or off-site evidence from individuals relevant to enforcing this Act. Example: Inspector Parker examines the production machinery at a textile factory to ensure it complies with safety standards. He also interviews workers to gather evidence of working conditions. Subsection C, Other Necessary Powers. Inspectors are empowered to exercise any other powers essential for enforcing the provisions of this Act. Explanation: these additional powers may vary based on the specific requirements of each inspection, such as shutting down a factory temporarily for safety improvements. Note, however, individuals cannot be compelled to provide self-incriminating information under this section. Section 14, Certifying Surgeons. Subsection 1, Appointment of Certifying Surgeons. The government can appoint registered medical practitioners as certifying surgeons through an official notification. These certifying surgeons are designated within specific local limits. Illustration: Dr. Williams is appointed as a certifying surgeon in the West District of Karachi to assess the medical fitness of factory workers. Subsection 2, Delegation of Powers. A certifying surgeon can authorize another registered medical practitioner to exercise their powers under this act. However, a fitness certificate granted by the authorized practitioner is valid for only 3 months unless it is confirmed by the certifying surgeon after re-evaluating the individual. Scenario: Dr. Roberts, a certifying surgeon, allows Dr. Lee to conduct medical examinations of factory workers. Any fitness certificates issued by Dr. Lee must be reconfirmed by Dr. Roberts within 3 months. Clarification: a registered medical practitioner refers to an individual registered under a legislative act, federal or provincial, that maintains a register of medical practitioners. This chapter outlines the critical roles, powers, and responsibilities of inspectors, chief inspectors, and certifying surgeons in enforcing safety and compliance within factories as defined by the Act.